Okay, right now is the moment of truth if my car will start. I'm so scared. My heart is pounding. I really wish you guys could feel like my heart pounding. I really hope what I just did fixed my problem, and if it did, that's gonna be pretty funny. Okay, gauges turn on. Fuel pump prime. Everything seems to be working. Now this is the moment. I'll be so happy if it starts. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, boys! Are we good? Are we good? Are we live? I have no lights on the dash. We're good, boys. No, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Off. That was literally it. You guys are going to hate me. And everyone was commenting that this was my problem. I'm going to show you guys right now. So first, I'm going to let the beast warm up, and I'll show you what my actual problem was. That right there. Literally, my only problem was my battery. I was looking around trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with my car, of course. And then I kept getting people commenting and saying, you have a loose terminal, you have a loose terminal. I was like, what does that even mean? So I go over to my car, obviously, and I'm looking at the negative post, and the post itself was like a loose tooth. Best way I can describe it. It was like a loose tooth. The terminal, or the post itself on the battery was literally just loose. Now I'm kind of wondering if that was loose, was that causing my weird misfire under like a lot of boost? I don't know. I might be just trying to put two things together, but I just picked up a new battery. I put it in right now, and you guys just witnessed the very first start, so I am super stoked. I'm hoping that is my only issue. Now, of course, I got to figure out my whole power steering thing, but I am so beyond happy that my car just started. And let's see if we have any lights on the dash. Please don't have any lights on the dash. Please don't be Subaru. We're still good, boys. Let's go! Yes! Wow, that was a thing. I'm so happy right now. I am so happy right now. All right, I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit, possibly give it a few revs, and then we got one more issue to figure out, which is my power steering issue. We'll get it. As you can see, see how it's going up slowly? Now I'm doing the recalibration of my airlift stuff to get the orientation of my screen for the controller to be the actual right way. And all I had to do was just connect the airlift app with my phone, and you go into the settings menu, and then you just press calibration. Once you do that, then you just recalibrate it just like you did when you originally installed your airlift stuff. And now I'm just waiting for it to recalibrate. Once it recalibrates, does the front, does the rear, then it's going to ask me for screen orientation. Is the screen on the left, or the buttons on the right? Yada yada yada. So I will show you. Boom. Just kidding. Forget everything I said about how to reset the screen. I guess I was a little rusty, and I forgot that you don't press the calibration button. You actually go here, settings, about, and then you do a firmware update. And once you press the firmware update, even though it says that there might not be anything available, you press yes, and you press update now, and then it asks you for the configuration of the screen. This probably majorly helped out someone because you can't find this anywhere. I had to call Airlift last time I had to do this, and they told me this is how you do it. It should be under the calibration thing. I'm just saying, it'd be a lot easier. But either way, now we got to do an update, even though there's not an update, and get the keypad on the right, which will then, of course, turn the screen finally not upside down. Let's do it. Boom! We are complete, and would you look at that? My screen orientation is finally good. Oh, it looks so good. Let's go. So we all know how this goes. Now would be the perfect time to do my first drive back from this thing being down. I think it was like pretty much a month. Yeah, I think it was pretty much a month. I have not driven this thing. Now that I got everything wired up, everything hooked up, ready to go. My power steering issue seemed to have gone away. When I moved my car up the driveway and kind of back down to this right here, I didn't feel anything weird. I felt the power assist, no weird noises, no vibration. And some people were saying, and I was also looking up, that the whole vibration thing, if you just kind of, it's supposed to bleed out itself, you know what I mean? When you just keep going back and forth. This was like a self-bleeding system for the power steering, so I'm thinking that went away, or at least I'm hoping that went away. So I'm going to do a little shakedown right now. I'm going to drive my car, but to add some fun, I'm just going to go around the block, but I'm going to see if my neighbors, if any of my neighbors are outside. I have no bumper on, so I have a huge freaking front mount intercooler. So this could be kind of interesting. I'm gonna go ahead, head up the driveway. We're gonna cross our fingers, hope everything's good, and if not, then gotta bring it back down, finish her up, but let's go for a little drive. And this is now one of the coolest things to see when I start up my car. Check it out. Bow, bow. Now that it's actually in the right orientation. All right, let's go. Just rolling out right now. Everything feels pretty good. And no one's outside of their house, so they can't see my just huge intercooler, but hopefully we see someone. So another thing that I did as I was working on my car and doing the power steering pump is a lot of people were saying that what was helping their misfires, I think I might have said it one time before, is actually decreasing my spark gap. Now, I checked all of the spark plug gaps and they were all at 30 thousandths. So what I did is a lot of people were saying they went to around 25 thousandths, which 5 thousandths less than what they were originally. I believe I have the NGK Iridium spark plugs. So what I did is I just degapped them. I put them all at 25 thousandths. And a couple things that I noticed. I don't know if it's just because I haven't driven my car for a while, but it seems like my car is louder. Maybe I'm just losing it, but that's one thing that I do notice. Secondly is it feels really good. So I'm wondering if my hesitation before boost has diminished. I haven't gotten fully into boost, one, because I'm kind of scared. I'm just still, you know, doing a little shakedown. And number two is I have no front bumper on, so I don't want to draw that much attention because, like I said, the car is really loud. But one thing that I did notice, just driving the car around, is I'm going basically almost lock to lock, or I'm going fast turning, and my steering feels totally fine. I don't feel that vibration that I was feeling before, so maybe the air has worked itself out, just kind of sitting overnight. Maybe it was my battery thing for some reason. I don't know, but you know, something obviously did change. And also I'm doing a bunch of like 3-point turns going back and forth on this street next to my house because it's pretty quiet. And even when I'm, you know, doing my 3-point turn and turning pretty fast, the power steering feels just like normal. I'm not feeling that vibration. So I'm pretty much, you know, gonna leave it as that. I'm gonna put my bumper on. I'm gonna cruise the car around a little bit. And actually we are going to be heading over to work on Project WRX right now. I don't know if I'm putting that in this video or if I'm putting that in another video, but I'm gonna see you guys in just 1 second. All right, now I'm going to pop the hood one more time and just check over everything, make sure everything is good. My shakedown went well. Nothing seemed to, you know, pop up, seem weird. So now I'm gonna check under the hood, make sure my power steering isn't leaking, make sure, you know, just check over a few things, make sure the battery is all tied down still good. You know, just give it a once over. We'll see what it looks like. Hope for the best, hope for the best. If you thought I was kidding, I did drive like this. Whatever. Savage mode. All right, let's check it out. So this is where originally it was leaking from. And now you can see it's actually a gold block now instead of red power steering fluid. My power steering fluid level is at the perfect amount. Everything is looking good. And we're back, boys. Let's go. Front bumper finally on. The car's finally out on the street. And I see you. I see you. My niece is super nervous. She was actually in one video of like the Tome. What, do you want to be in it again or what? Are you freaking... What do you want to say? Ooh. Ooh. So you're all excited. The camera's off and she's talking like she's gonna... Are you vlogging right now? That's it. That's all she just wanted to laugh. Okay, my butt was on the radiator and that was super hot. Don't touch that. Yeah. Anyway, well, now that the car's live, I think we're gonna go work on Project WX. With Project WX, and my main goal today is to get all of the harness connections disconnected and also the intake manifold off. I did already, right when I got here, take off the power steering pump, but there's already 3 bolts and I already did that in the previous video, so that one's pretty easy. It's literally just 1, 2, 3, and it just comes off, and there's a little ground cable right there. That one's super basic, but I'm going to show you every single connection you need to disconnect in order to take the intake manifold off. So, number 1, before anyone says anything, the reason why the engine's at an angle right now is because it was leaking everywhere and I was over it. So that's why it's like that. So, every single thing you need to disconnect, and I'm going to name them out. This is going to be the connector for the oil control valve, which is going to control your ABCS, which is the blue one. Then you need to disconnect each injector, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be these ones here. These ones look a little bit different because he has aftermarket injectors, but it should be the gray ones there. And then moving along here, this is a single ABCS, so it's only going to have a sensor on the top, not one on the bottom. Also, you want to disconnect your coils, the black ones in the back, the white ones in the front. Moving back here, you got your knock sensor that you want to disconnect. Also your MAF and your MAP sensor right there. And then moving along, obviously you're going to mimic on this side all the ones that I already told you, the coils, the oil control valve right there, both of the injectors, the crankshaft position sensor over here. Moving on to the front, this is the camshaft position sensor over there, the crankshaft position sensor, which is going to be right there. Boom. Also, you're going to have, this is your oil dummy light, which is going to be this one right there. Going to pull that one off, and then also your coolant temp sensor, which is right there. I'm pretty sure I covered all the connections. Now that all those guys are off, there's actually only 4 bolts that are holding on the intake manifold. Again, this car is modified, so things are going to look a little bit different, but all the connections are pretty much the same. Now, he does have the aftermarket TGVs, and all you need to do is I'm going to take this whole thing off as one piece, this entire intake manifold, and there's 1 bolt there and 2 of them right on the top. I'm going to take out all 4 because there's one on that side as well, and the entire intake manifold should come off once I get both sides. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking I got all the connections off. There was actually 2 more hoses that I forgot I need to disconnect, which is the little upper radiator, like the reservoir right here, that black thing. There's only 2 bolts holding that on. There's a hose right there, and then there's also a hose that flows coolant through like the throttle body that I needed to disconnect as well. Well, let's see if there's any more left holding this thing on. I think the intake manifold is about to come off. Okay. It's like a freaking huge spider, and I finally got it off. Reason for the towels is those fuel lines. They're not normally that difficult, but like I said, all this stuff is aftermarket, like all this like AN line kind of stuff. It's normally a little bit easier. I had a kind of a hard time getting the intake manifold off with all these lines ran. But either way, we finally got it off, and here's what that looks like. Finally off the engine. So I think I'm going to wrap the video up here and just show you the last kind of final steps of taking this thing apart as far as today. All I did now is just take off the turbo and the inlet. Very, very easy, very, very simple. Actually only 3 nuts holding on the turbo to the up pipe, which is 1, 2, and 3. They're all size 14, and this one is definitely the hardest one to get to, but I would go in from the back and get it this way. Definitely kind of hard, but it's definitely doable. Now the turbo is off. I think that's pretty much where I'm going to end it. There is an oil feed line, which is right here, and then an oil return, which is this one there, and that's pretty much the only things that are connected to that. But that's pretty much it for today. I think I got a pretty good amount of work done. Intake manifold off, power steering pump off, turbo inlet and the turbo off, everything disconnected. So we're making some good progress. In the next video, we're probably just gonna take off all the plumbing, coolant passageway, the fuel lines, stuff like that, take off the timing cover, and maybe get to the heads. We probably will, but I think that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. There's definitely a lot of stuff going on. I got the Debrex back and running, which I'm super, super stoked about, and making some good progress on this. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.